Oh man, it's been tiresome. Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome to the brand new installment of Future Langrisser, August 2023 edition. Time of recording today is the 26th of July. So I'm recording this in advance before August. So all of you will be watching this on August 1st. So yeah, in case that was today, I just gotta remind you that I'm recording this early in advance as usual, so that way I can get things out of the way on time. So yeah, some of you guys might be wondering what's so special about this episode. Well, to put it simply, Langrisser is celebrating their fifth birthday, or known as the anniversary. Yeah, they're already at that old already, 5 years old already. Like, can you believe this? So many things we need to look into in this kind of update. So, anyways, there are actually some units that are worth noting here. Yeah, and yeah, there's so much to look into. Especially we'll talk about more of the stuff in the later part of this video. You can skip ahead if you want to. I will always timestamp this video so that we can skip to the part where you want to know the most. And I'll leave you all to that for now. But if you want to listen closely or listen to how I'm going to talk about and how I feel about those stuff that I discussed, you can just stay around and then listen to all of this. So, anyways, let's get right into what are the new units. Okay, well, yep, there it goes. So as you can see here, there are actually some units that are actually worth noting here. So first off, we got Apotheosis. To those guys who are asking, well, who the heck is this guy? Well, just want to let you know, Apotheosis is Watham 2.0. So yeah, I'm not even kidding. He's literally Watham, but in a newer appearance. So, anyways, Apollosis, as you expect, since he is Watham 2.0, he's going to be another limited banner unit. So he is going to be the third one being added to the limited banner lineup. So that means that he's going to have his own banner, which is solo, of course, just himself. And I'm sorry if I actually mispronounced his name because that's the closest pronunciation I could think of. So like Apophysis is how I'm gonna pronounce his name, but I might be wrong. But let's just hope that someone could help correct me if I was wrong about the translation. Not translation. What should I say? Like pronunciation. Yeah. So, anyways, like I said, this is a limited banner unit, so that means once this banner is gone, it will be gone until it comes back. And just like Watham, he has Demon and Flyer. So this is no-brainer. I think most people will go for Flyer, but of course they'll have to put in someone that can neutralize the flying effect, like a soldier that can reach 5 tiles as well as being on ground. I don't know. It might be just me, but I think if Apostles does have access to werewolves, then yeah, you can tell he's gonna be so broken. Anyways, we don't know yet, so let's just consider this as a speculation. So, anyways, there are three factions, of course. Like as newer units nowadays have three factions, opposed to other units like Clotaire, for example. That one only has two factions, which kind of hurt him in the long run. But, anyways, Apotheosis is part of Dark, Ulysses, and Mythical Realm. So as you can tell, this unit is actually quite synergized pretty well if you're using Landius in Apex. So yeah, it's actually pretty good in that kind of team. So if you couldn't fit in Watham, slot this guy in instead. He will just help you out with like faction being part of the same faction with Ulysses, if you choose to. If you're using Landius a lot of times. And speaking of Landius, I noticed that he has not fallen off the meta at all. I mean, he is just there being like a either being used as a tank or even a bait, depending on how you're gonna use him. But either way, Apotheosis is actually an excellent addition. And the other new unit, I believe a lot of people already knew who he is because he's been in the game for ages, like ever since Endless Voyage was first introduced. I don't remember which year that was, but it was a long time. So yeah, after a long time of Captain Mac being an NPC throughout the Endless Voyage levels or Endless Voyage events, he is finally playable character. He's finally becoming a playable unit. And what's even crazy is that Zilong decided to get him as a allow people to get him for free from the Almeida's Adventures quest. So yeah, that one is from the limited event, of course, if you're wondering. And for his availability, I don't know. Like I think they might add him to the pool, but anyways, I don't know why they wouldn't want to do that because they did this with Jiro and Layla because like at first even though they were actually kind of teased in the early days, but then they weren't even featured on any banners. They were actually given to us for free through the event. So and then later they add them to the pool. So I think they will do the same with Captain Mac if they go that route. I think they will do that for sure. It's a high chance. And speaking of Captain Mac, he has aquatic and infantry class. So I think a lot of people will go for aquatic for in this kind of case. And also he's gonna be part of Legion of Glory, ULS Legends, and Meteor Strike. So yeah, he's an excellent addition if you think about getting him into the Apex arena. He is gonna be an interesting one. I never seen how he plays, but if it's really great, then that might be PvP oriented or PvP material. But we'll see how he will work in game once he comes out. And finally, let's talk about that SP unit that's been in the game. I mean, not been in the game, but it will soon be in the game. The new SP goes to Bernhardt. Yep, Bernhardt is getting an SP class in this update. That's coming very soon in CN. And his SP class is actually a dragon class. So basically, he is the first SP being a dragon, essentially. So you can tell how crazy he will be when he becomes a dragon. So, and also, in case you forgot what factions he's part of Empire's Honor, Dark Reincarnation, and Mythical Realm. And also, he's the faction buff for Empire's Honor. Just in case if those of you who forgot who he was and what faction he's part of. Anyways, that's all the new units here. So let's move on and let's talk about the casting patterns skills. So there are some new ones here. There are four new ones as always. And anyways, there's four of them. First one goes to Rosalia. Attack plus 5%. When attacking an enemy with a skill while within a friendly Sword of Protection range, reduce skill cooldown by 1 to 3 at random. So essentially, Rosalia is going to be excellent when it comes to when it comes to movement and also attacking. So as long as she's attacking enemies within the sword range, she'll have her skill cooldown reduced whenever she uses a skill by 1 to 3. And this doesn't always fix. So that means you get either 1 turn cooldown or 3 turn cooldown, depending on the RNG. So you don't always guarantee to get the highest cooldown reduction as possible. You'll get like the number generated by random. So don't get your hopes up when it comes to the RNG here, because Rosalia's casting has RNG based, just like SP Lana with the cooldown reduction when using a skill. All right, next up is Archon of the Moon. At first, I was surprised. Many people were surprised as well. I thought Archon of the Moon is still good out there, but I guess this casting pattern is gonna get him even more of a power, or even more of a punch, depending on how you're gonna describe this. So, anyways, Archon of the Moon's casting increases his attack by 10% when using Moonrise Wave, which is his 3C's second part. If that move ends up being a kill, the cooldown of all skills will be reduced by 1. So yeah, this casting made Archon even more overpowered. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I've seen him being used a lot in Apex, especially in the previous season. Yeah, imagine this added to his full ability. Yeah, you can imagine how terrifying he will be. Like, so yeah, if you want to prevent all that from happening, yeah, consider getting Hilda. Because if you do not have Hilda, you're basically gonna die so quickly by Archon. Like, this is literally no joke. And speaking of of a new casting skill for Archon, there's also one for Ledin. Hero damage plus 10%. If you have at least 2 allies within 2 blocks, the Righteous Duel skill, which is his 3C, has a target range of extra 1 tile. So to those guys who are confused, what does that mean? Well, the 3C range is at default is 3 blocks, but if you have at least 2 allies within 2 blocks of him, his Righteous Duel like grab range is actually 4 tiles instead of the 3 tiles. So you could imagine how dangerous he will be when he got his fully casted skill. As you can tell, with this like extra range, he will guarantee to pull whoever you're trying to target out of the enemy guard range. So yeah, if you ever see Leden on the field, don't underestimate him, even though he is an OG unit. Do not underestimate him, especially when he's fully casted. And finally, we got Emmerich. Attack and defense plus 5%. His 3C, the secret strategies, like all the effects that you use on him, will last 1 extra turn. So this is straightforward. So basically, all the effects that you use on his 3C will get 1 extra turn now, if you fully cast them, which is really amazing. I mean, Emmerich did really deserve this because to be honest with you, Emmerich is a bit of a underdog or something, but with this casting skill, this could actually give him an upper hand. Oh yeah, and also let's move on and see what we are expecting here. I think the next one is the exclusive equipments. Yep, there they are. So anyways, the exclusive equipments. There are actually 2 new ones. One headwear for Lightbringer, and the other one is a Dengelmo, which is the armor. So yeah, we're basically kind of close to like not many units without their exclusives now. But I might be wrong, but we'll see how the game goes from here. So, anyways, the first one goes to Lightbringer, HP plus 10% for every layer of Mirror Shine, damage dealt plus 2%. At the end of the action, if you have 5 stacks of Mirror Shine, you will heal an ally with the lowest HP with 2.5 times of your int. So Lightbringer with this equipment, you basically turn Lightbringer from a tank to a hybrid of tank and healing support. So as you can tell how the healing works on that part of the head where she has, basically this is Almeida styles healing. So after you finish your action, the passive healing will go to whoever had the lowest HP with 2.5 times of your int. Okay, sorry, my voice cracked. I got clear my throat really fast. Okay, where was I? Yep. So, anyways, essentially, Lightbringer will be very useful out there with this headwear, which allow her to be like a healer once again, just like her original self, known as Elma. Although they both aren't the same, but you can reference this as Almeida, but in Lightbringer, of course. All right, next up is a Dank Elmo. Yep, a Dank Elmo got the gear which is the armor piece of as well. So, anyways, the HP plus 10%. All friendly units within friendly gate attack and int plus 20% and last for 2 turns. All enemy units whose movement is not flyer consumes an additional point of ability when they are 2 tiles around the gate. So to those guys who are confused what this is, well, essentially this gear supposedly improves how the portal works for you at least. So yeah, how it works is that if you haven't have any friendly units within the gate's range, they'll have attack and int plus 20%, and that will last for 2 turns. And also, all the enemies that are in that same gate that which is not theirs but yours, they will suffer 1 extra mobility point when moving to another tile. So that means they'll need to use 2 tiles to get that 1 tile off, which will be a bit of a like kind of like stalling kind of stuff, like what McLean would do. So yeah, a lot of people say this is probably the one of the worst ones, but I think this is more like a support rather than like a offense kind of stuff. So a lot of people are expecting this armor to like enable her to attack from further distance, but I don't know. Do you really think a Dank Ammo really need that? Because if they do it that way, I think it's gonna make her too strong. That's just me, to be honest with you. So like they were thinking maybe it'll give her +2 attack range, but if you think about this, if a Dengamo got this instead of this, you can imagine how overpowered she will become. Like she will be able to attack enemies from 6 tiles, like a literal sniper, like on steroids. I mean, we already got stuff like Girl in the Shell, but still, we don't really want another unit having that same ability, you know? Because that will be too much to ban when it comes to Apex. And it's just me maybe it was just me, but could you imagine if a Dengamo got the extra attack range? Yeah, that could be a different story. But this is more balanced, in my opinion. But anyways, who knows how this one will work? But we'll see how it works with a Dengamo. I imagine that this is going to be great to those who like to stall your opponent. And finally, before we end off this episode, let's talk about what else is coming into this update. So, oh man, there's a lot of stuff we need to look into. So, of course, this is this is the anniversary. It's likely this cycle is going to end in 5 weeks instead of the usual 4. So let's talk about some stuff here. So as expected, since this is the major update of a 5th anniversary, Watham and Awaken 1 will appear again as a separate banner, of course. And then there's also Hilda and Lugner radar banner. This one is also excellent to pick up because Hilda's there. Like, I mean, of course, Archon is going to get buffed significantly. So why you wouldn't want to not get Hilda if you haven't already? And the other one is the Destiny banner featuring Lightbringer, Ricky, and Caroline. We also got Classic, Elwin, Leon, and Bernhard Destiny banner. We also have Shelfaniel, Sage of the Trees, and Wheeler Destiny banner. And also, I normally wouldn't cover this in this kind of episode, but I am going to do so as like some kind of like use like a helpful information here. So there actually is a work in progress collab inbound. So what this collab is actually from Bio Booster Armor Guyver. So this is one of those manga series, I believe, but I never seen this because I don't think I ever watched this on the streaming service I use the most. But anyways, one thing for certain is that if you're curious what this series is, there is actually one place you can watch. I believe it's available as a Prime Video as well as Funimation. So you can head over there if you have the Funimation subscription. You can watch there if you want. Okay, okay, enough with the collab out of the way. There's also another thing that are actually becoming as a change. So, Dimension Expedition, after been so long of like no changes at all, yeah, they finally going to get a revamp. Well, it's not because of their choice, because they had no other choice, because they've seen a lot of people decided to use cheats in that kind of game mode. I'm not gonna say what kind of cheats they use, but anyways, that's the main reason why they're revamping it. So I don't know what kind of revamps there will be, but I think it's more fair towards everybody because in most games like first person shooter like I know I'm saying something like off topic, but anyways I'm just saying examples. So like when it comes to exploiting, so as long as you're not using exploits in the multiplayer game, uh, most people wouldn't care. But however, if you do that in an online game, when it comes to multiplayer, like when it involves multiplayer, I mean, yeah, you can tell this is going to be a problem. But other than that, DE getting revamped is great. Just an FYI. Anyways, I'm sorry I actually spoke too much in this kind of episode, but hopefully you can just pause the video and then look through all that by yourself without me speaking. That's also another option. So anyways, hope you'll find this video informative, and I'll see you all next time, whenever that time comes.